CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeremy Thompson.
I want to reassure everyone that our investigators, with the assistance of our hate crimes unit, are looking at every angle to understand how and why this happened.
So the people who were doing the morning prayer service, they were able to subdue the guy?
Tonight on CTV News, a community in shock after an early morning double stabbing at a Sikh temple. Good evening. An early morning attack at a temple in the northeast has shaken Edmonton's Sikh community. 2 men were stabbed with what police believe was a screwdriver. They say the attacker has a long and violent criminal history and had been released from a federal prison just yesterday. Wedding guests file out of the Nanaksar Gurdwara while a police cruiser idles in the parking lot. The Sikh community defiantly celebrating a cultural and life event just hours after an attack.
An altercation took place. He interrupted the morning prayer service.
Sikh temples have an open door policy where anyone is welcome. Just after 5 a.m., worshippers noticed a man had entered the prayer hall and something felt off.
There is a Guru Granth Sahib, a holy scripture that the Sikhs pray to, and that he went straight for that when they tried to subdue him or try to restrain him. He assaulted several members of the congregation, 2 of whom were hospitalized.
Police say the congregants managed to hold the attacker until officers arrived and arrested him. A 51-year-old and a 75-year-old man were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening stab wounds. Investigators believe the attacker used a screwdriver. The 27-year-old suspect was also transported to hospital. Police are not naming him until they lay charges, but say he has a lengthy and violent criminal history.
We've learned that he was released from a federal institution yesterday, August 20th, 2026, where he had been serving a sentence for aggravated assault and assaulting a peace officer, and he failed to report to his designated Edmonton halfway house.
Investigators say that prison was not Edmonton Max, just down Highway 15. For now, they will only say it was an institution in Alberta.
Incidents like this pose a direct threat to all Edmontonians, negatively impacting residents and the character of our city. Hate and racism and prejudice have no place in our city.
Police are still determining whether the stabbing was a hate crime at a time when hate appears to be on the rise.
What we're seeing in Canada right now in terms of polarization, politicization of certain things, leaders speaking out in different directions or not speaking out against hate, these are the things that the police are dealing with, and it's becoming increasingly complex.
The attack comes in the wake of a few other incidents involving the Sikh community, an altercation at a Walmart in Edmonton a few weeks ago, and threats against Sikh temples in Calgary earlier this week. Well, a proposal by city staff to improve snow and ice clearing around the city is seeing mixed reaction. The nearly $24 million a year plan includes dedicated crews for event snow clearing and bringing back calcium chloride. CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports.
On a warm and sunny summer day, winter snow clearing isn't on most Edmontonians' minds. Christy Morin is an exception. She is the general manager of the Deep Freeze Festival on Alberta Avenue.
This is Deep Freeze 20th anniversary coming up in January 2027, and we have seen unprecedented snowfalls many times.
Last winter included. The festival put out calls for help ahead of the event due to mountains of snow clogging up surrounding streets. In response, the city moved up residential snow clearing in the area.
It's always been one-offs, and it's tiring because as a team we're like, oh no, is there going to be help? Is there going to be support this year? And last year was exhausting. It was like a part-time job.
A new proposal by city staff suggests dedicated crews for snow clearing for festivals, major events, and commercial shopping corridors.
So we have done a lot of engagement. The biggest thing that we're working on is timing and availability.
I am so excited that we've been heard.
The nearly $24 million a year proposal also includes bringing back calcium chloride, something the city stopped using in 2020 due to concerns about rust and pollution.
I welcome another tool in the toolbox. I always have a discussion about it. I know that several years ago, the way it was rolled out wasn't really adequate.
Councillor Karen Tang says she's looking forward to hearing about how it might be different this time around. A local chemical engineer and car enthusiast is concerned.
So if they've not done pilot projects, if they've not addressed it differently than they did the last time, which to my knowledge they haven't, then I'm not sure how the risk is any better this time than it was last time.
The proposal and prioritizing accessibility in its snow and ice control program will be discussed at City Hall at the end of the month. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
As demand for electricity and the amount of extreme weather events increase, EPCOR says it's ready. The company recently completed millions of dollars worth of upgrades to increase its capacity in the city. CTV's Amanda Anderson has more on what it means for electricity users.
That steady hum is the sound of electricity flowing through the Meadowlark substation. It's one of 5 neighborhoods EPCOR identified in need of upgrades.
Across that heat wave in 2025, we looked at where there was strain on the system, and we made the improvements to make sure that we don't have those challenges in the future.
As extreme weather and demand for power increases, EPCOR is making sure it has the capacity to handle it.
So whether it's to heat their home or cool their home or charge their EVs or just their daily lives, we're seeing more power use across the entire city. So the infrastructure that we put in will help with both winter and summer constraints to make sure that the power's there when the people need it.
Suzanne Landon says EPCOR spent $20 million on upgrades at no additional cost to customers.
Across Edmonton, we changed how power flows. We added additional circuits, we installed larger cable so we can have additional capacity.
It could also mean fewer outages, although some Edmontonians we spoke with say losing power isn't something they've had to deal with in a while.
No, we haven't had any power outages.
Does that surprise you with all the storms and the weather we've had?
Actually, yes.
Well, I've lived in Edmonton 2 years and I'm from Ontario, and I find that we've never had a problem. We've had thunderstorms and lots of rain.
That doesn't mean outages won't happen, but when they do, Landon says the upgrades allow crews to get the lights back on quicker. Mother Nature has tested EPCOR's new and improved grid several times in recent weeks.
We did see some improvements during the storm because we had more connections in the system and were able to route the power around to restore outages faster.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta's separation movement is putting its vision on paper. A new discussion document outlines what an independent province could look like, from taxes to government and individual rights. CTV's Mark Villani has more.
Proud Albertans are flying their flags in favor of independence, but one group is sending an even bigger signal, spelling out what separation from Canada could actually look like.
It's designed to get people talking. It's designed to get people thinking that, and it's also designed to get people's input back.
The Alberta Prosperity Project released this 54-page document entitled The Foundation of Freedom. It proposes an independent Alberta to be led by a president, free passports for citizens, an income tax capped at 10%, and English as the only official language. 3 levels would form governments, including a leader with veto power, an elected legislative assembly and senate, and elected judges. An elected independent body would also lead the oversight branch, giving it power to access all government documents, run elections, and investigate public complaints.
It's going to help minimize government corruption, of which we have a lot of.
The document also puts a strong emphasis on individual rights, including the right to possess and carry firearms, access and delete personal data held by the state, and choose or refuse health care.
It's a scary vision.
The leader of the Forever Canadian movement also took issues with the document's claim to protect all Albertans from discrimination, including based on, quote, lawful sexual orientation, which isn't defined.
You're looking at a combination of gunslinging Texas with very much oppressive Alabama, where no minority rights are being recognized.
How people identify is of little to no concern to me.
But some prominent separatists who are not part of the Alberta Prosperity Project say these ideas don't all fly.
It's getting a bit too detailed for what's a constitutional document. Those are policy positions. We want smaller government, we want less tax, but that's more a discussion between the electors and their government rather than having it, again, enshrined in a constitution, I believe.
Although we think that it's a bit premature, once we get to that point in time, it will absolutely be a very important part of the conversation.
A conversation that separatists hope to continue.
They have a chance right now to take charge of their future.
And a future some hope to avoid ahead of the October 19th referendum.
This really takes us back hundreds of years.
The province's data center plans were under fire at a second town hall last night, this time in Sturgeon County, where Meta plans to build one. CTV's Curtis Goodrum has more.
Ma'am, sir.
Pointed questions to Minister of Technology and Innovation Nate Glubish. Many here say this town hall comes too late, with a $13 billion Meta data center project underway.
These town halls are a walk back, and it is 10 steps too late. The town halls come after they've done everything and made all the decisions.
Alberta's Industrial Heartland Association says it's surprised by the lack of support from the community.
The community response, say, at the town halls over the last couple of days has been different than what we've seen. I think the benefits to the region will be substantial.
Potential benefits are still a bit unclear to the town of Olds. The Alberta Utilities Commission ruled a proposed data center's power plant can't go ahead. Other municipalities have reached out to the town to learn how the regulations work.
Some actual guardrails that are in place on these types of proposals to be able to determine before these get down as far as they do.
The minister also believes Alberta's approach to data center development is working, and so are town halls. Nate Glubish says feedback from Albertans at these town halls will help inform the province's approach to future data center development, including work underway to establish consistent province-wide siting standards that keep large data centers away from residential neighborhoods. Next month, there will be a town hall held in Grand Prairie. The mayor hopes it will ease some concerns surrounding a data center project spearheaded by celebrity businessman Kevin O'Leary.
Technology is changing, and that opportunity only continues to grow for people. And so I think the reality of data centers is imminent.
A virtual town hall with Premier Daniel Smith will be held August 27th. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
Chinatown is coming to life this week with the annual Dragon Festival and its first international lion dance competition. Competitors from across the Americas are here to put their skills to the test. CTV's Noah Rashad reports.
These lions may look intimidating, but they don't bite. Puppetry, gymnastics, dance, storytelling, and music all come together for the art of lion dancing. The Pan American Lion Dancing Competition is being hosted right here in Edmonton at the annual Chinatown Dragon Festival.
Lion dancing is an athletic sport. There's judging. There is a standardized point system. It's almost like gymnastics, but a much higher caliber.
Competitors from across the Americas are here to compete. Practicing on stage is first-time competitor Trinidad and Tobago, a small island nation of just 1.5 million people.
It's a very small community, and this is something very new in Trinidad, so it was a bit of a push, but we really wanted to get here.
They've cobbled together a team out of football players, dancers, and musicians in just the last year to make a team that can compete on the global stage.
So the team is very diverse, as you could see, different backgrounds, different ages, and I think we all come together for this one cause, and we work together, we work really hard for this opportunity, and we just really want to make our country proud and to do our best that we can do.
That global stage is in the heart of Chinatown at the Dragon Festival.
We just want to show you what Chinatown can be like, what vibrancy will look like. We get support from the community and from all our different levels of government.
Lion dancing originated in China, but as it spreads around the world, other nations are adding their own cultural flares. Trinidad and Tobago's lion is designed with their national colors, red and black. The competition continues into the weekend and will end in crowning the Pan American Lion Dance Champion. Noah Rashad, CTV News, Edmonton.
After the break, a little kid with a big brain. An Alberta 5-year-old earns a stellar 160 on an IQ test.
Math or reading?
Math. As a mom and, as parents, I was so proud, to be honest.
Good evening, folks. More heat on the way through the weekend. Near 30 on Saturday, high 20s on Sunday. Could see some storms to close the weekend, though. We'll take a closer look at that in just a few minutes.
45th edition of the Edmonton International Fringe Festival is winding down with an event honoring its roots. The festival is renaming its theatre after one of its founders. Ryan Paisley died this past June. It's also commissioning a mural for the entrance to the theatre, honoring Paisley's memory. The Fringe says Paisley's impact is felt right across Canada.
Because of him, we have a strong network of fringe festivals in almost every city. We lost him too soon, but we are so grateful for his vision, his creativity, his leadership, and all of the ways that he creates opportunities for artists to take risks.
The festival also announced its holdover performances. It chooses some popular shows for additional dates after the Fringe closes on Sunday. You can check out this year's holdover series on the Fringe Festival website. Alberta Search and Rescue is praising a newly developed technology for helping save a cave explorer near Canmore last weekend. On Saturday, a man got stuck in a very narrow section in the Rat's Nest Cave on Grotto Mountain, referred to as the Psyche Squeeze. Cave guides were unable to get him out. Confined space specialists along with Alberta Search and Rescue were called to help. Traditional GPS, cell phones, and satellite messengers don't work underground, so for the first time, a cave radio technology developed by Alberta Search and Rescue was used.
To have a radio system that can transmit messages digitally as a text message through solid rock and even deep underground is really helpful to any kind of emergency or anything that might need communication like that.
After about 12 hours, the man was successfully rescued and didn't require any medical attention. An Alberta boy is getting attention for having an IQ comparable to Benjamin Franklin and Stephen Hawking. By the way, he's just 5 years old. As CTV's Tyler Barrow explains, the high IQs run in the family.
Peru, this one, Algeria.
After seeing their flags, Ali Aldalawi can list dozens of countries. His smarts don't end there.
He's also very funny, loud, creative, and curious. You will have to come down here. No, I will.
He's now 5 years old and already reading with ease, but he can also crunch numbers quickly, which is what he prefers.
Math or reading?
Math.
He's shy, but also super smart. Last fall, Ali scored 160 IQ, putting him in the top 0.1% of his age group. According to Mensa, the world's oldest high IQ society, a score of 100 is considered average. You only get to become a member if you're in the top 2% of the population or 130 IQ or higher.
As a mom and as parents, I was so proud, to be honest.
Hassan knows from the age of 2, Ali was curious and liked to build new things, using his imagination while asking questions beyond his age. That's why she had him take an IQ test.
Not only just a deep question, but he likes also to know the way or the things how connect with each other.
And it runs in the family. His 10-year-old brother Omar and 7-year-old sister are Mensa members. Their parents are earning their PhDs in computer science and petroleum engineering at the University of Calgary. When Ali gained entry last December, at the time, only one other 4-year-old was a member in Canada.
They see patterns well on IQ tests, but they see it in life. They see it in math. They see the pattern in reading.
But Ali still enjoys being a kid. His favorite soccer player is Cristiano Ronaldo, which also explains his haircut.
As a mom, I feel happy, and I feel he will do very well.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Indigenous interns at the University of Alberta showed off the work they completed during this year's iSTEAM Pathways program today. The program is a 16-week paid summer internship for First Nations, Métis, and Inuit students to gain research experience. The focus is mostly on environmental fields, including science, environmental engineering, and environmental law. The university says this year's program had the largest cohort since it began in 2020. And when we come back, the Alberta guitar maker turning memories into music.
I like to think that, this wood was part of the King Eddie, absorbing the musical frequencies for decades, and I wanted to keep it as true to that form as possible.
Next week on Your Morning, fall is fast approaching. We have meal prep tips for when you get back into the swing of things and some help to pay off those bills from all your summer fun. We'll see you on Monday.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Temperatures for the first time in a long time above average all of this week, and we'll see some more heat through the weekend. Daytime highs, we mentioned earlier, should be close to 30 tomorrow. You've got this big upper ridge, this bubble of warm air in the mid and upper levels. That will start to ripple off to the southeast late in the day tomorrow, and by Sunday, there's your storm track returning. So let's give you a rough timeline on this and some locations for showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow morning, we'll get some sunshine to start the day. Watch this cloud cover roll in as the morning goes on. So cloudy midday, and then by mid to late afternoon, cloud cover's out of here, and we're back to some sunshine. Into the evening hours Saturday, chance of some showers and thunderstorms off to the west. There's a slight chance you might see a little sprinkle roll through the Edmonton area overnight Saturday night, but the best bet is going to be later in the day on Sunday. Mixed sun and cloud through most of the day Sunday. Good chance for some showers and thunderstorms here across the north, maybe some severe thunderstorms in through the Fort McMurray area. Storms, potentially some severe storms here in and around the Edmonton area. Now, this modeling keeps it south and then east of the Edmonton region Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening, but the location of those storms could change, could shift a little further north, and if that's the case, could be a fairly stormy end to the weekend here in the Edmonton area. If this holds, then, I mean, those storms will be really close to the city, but we may get off without anything except maybe some showers Sunday night into Monday morning. So we'll see how that plays out. Watch the storm track, though, if you have outdoor plans late in the day on Sunday. On the backside of this low pressure system, a little bit of a cooler flow from Monday. I think we'll get some clearing in the afternoon after a chance of showers in the morning, but back into the low 20s for a daytime high. We'll be in the 10 to 15 degree range across most of central and northern Alberta for morning lows. Highs near 30 across the north, near 30 as well into Red Deer for a high tomorrow, and here in Edmonton, near 30, light wind, 27 on Sunday with that chance of late day storms, and then 23 Monday, right back into the mid to high 20s Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. That is your forecast.
Thanks, Josh. An Alberta guitar maker is getting the chance to give new life to an historic music venue. CTV's Kevin Fleming explains.
It plays a trick on your mind because it sounds like an electric guitar, but it doesn't look like one. David Blitt from the National Music Centre is playing Kevin McCauley's custom-made instrument, who found the exit sign on Kijiji.
Paid him his $20, and as I was leaving his place, he said, I don't know if it means anything to you, but he said, I was on the crew that demolished the old King Eddie Hotel, and he said, this is an exit sign that came out of that. And I thought at the time, well, that's kind of cool.
That piqued McCauley's interest because it was a venue he frequented in the 80s and 90s, listening to all kinds of live performances. First, he cleaned up the sign, then he got to work.
Basically what I did, you can't really tell from here, but I took it apart and I built a exoskeleton, if you will. So it's got a maple box basically inside of that.
McCauley and his wife are members of the National Music Centre, and when he finished the guitar, that's where he took it.
He walked in the door of the National Music Centre in the King Eddie and handed as a gift this exit sign King Eddie guitar. That's really how it happened. He just showed up.
Would you sell us that guitar? He said, we would love to have something from the original King Eddie. And I said, nah, absolutely not. I said, it's not for sale, but I said, I'll give it to you.
The head of the museum then commissioned McCauley to build 2 more guitars out of wood saved from the restoration of the old King Eddie.
We were just kind of waiting for someone like him to walk through the door, and he did. And it's great that he's from Calgary, which is even, kind of the cherry on top, right?
I like to think that, this wood was part of the King Eddie, absorbing the musical frequencies for decades, and I wanted to keep it as true to that form as possible.
The electric guitars are now part of the museum's living collection, where artists can play them for the public to enjoy. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
And that does it for this edition of CTV News. For the latest news anytime, visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.